Hi guys, welcome back to SFDC Panther, and here in this tutorial we are going to learn about what are all the available collection in Salesforce Apex. So let's see what is the agenda for the today. So we will learn what are the different types of collection available in Salesforce, and then we will see how we can work with list type of collections in the Salesforce and what are its important. We'll also see how it does work, and we will be seeing a working demo for that. So let's go ahead and see what are the different collections available in Salesforce. So we have different collections. There are three types of collections available in Salesforce. First one is the list, that is the primary, and then we have set, and the third one is map. So in this tutorial we will be basically working on the list, and then after that we will see set and map in a separate videos. So what is a list? Actually, it's a nothing but a Apex class available in Salesforce, and we have different methods for that. Before going to the methods, we will see why list is a primary collection and why it is more important when it comes to Salesforce when we are working in Salesforce. So first one is this is the first and most important data types, and why? Because every SOQL returns the list, and we can only do the DML. DML means we can only insert record in a bulk with the help of list data type. We cannot use map, or we cannot use set to perform any kind of DML in any S object. And then list or ordered set of collections. So when we say that ordered set of collection, that means if I'm adding a particular element in a particular index, I will get that element in that index itself. So I will tell you more about when we are working on that working session, because here you will get confused if I'll tell you more about this. So what are the different methods? And yeah, we miss one point, that is list also contains duplicate element. That means if I added an element called let's say that I have added an element apple, and then again I am adding an element apple, that means it will let us add duplicate elements, and the list of size will be 2. That means first one apple and the second one apple as well. So what are different methods we have? To add a method, sorry, to add a particular element in a list, to add a element in a predefined index where we wanted to add all. We can add the elements if we have another list. That means if we have two lists and we wanted to add all the elements of a first list into the second list, we can use AddAll method, and then clear to clear all the elements in the list. Then we have clone. We can clone the particular list. We can check if the list is containing a particular elements or not. That will return true or false. We can check for equals, either two particular list. If we have two different lists and we wanted to check those lists are equals or not, we can use that. We can get to get the data from a particular index. Here we need to provide an index, that is an integer. IsEmpty will check if the list is empty or not. Remove, to remove a particular element from a particular index. And then set, that means to update the value for a particular index. And then we can use sort. And to know more about, you can go to the Salesforce provided document where you can get all information about that. So let's go ahead and do the magic together. So what we'll do, uh, I have this my Salesforce org. Here what we will do, we will first start from our first statement, where we said that list is an order list of collection. So what does that mean? So let's go ahead and create an Apex class. I will name it as collections demo, and here we will create a method. And in this method we will be working on list. So to create the list, to work with the list, what we need to do is, first we need to do is type list, and what kind of list you wanted to create. Here you need to provide the data type. It can be either a string, it can be other, yep, It can be string, it can be integer, it can also be decimal, SObject, custom effects, any type of list you can create. So here you need to create list. Let's say that I created name list and then instantiated with the same list. Now what I will do, I'll just add some random names here. Let's say that I've added here G, and then I added, let's say that I added John. Now adding my name here, Amit, and then let's say add the element as well, and then at the end add SFDC Panther. So now what we will do, we'll just debug this list. Okay, so now why like how we will run, how we will execute this particular code. So to execute that, just copy the name of this class, go to debug menu, and then click on open execute anonymous window, or you can use the short keys, that is control plus E. So I'm going to open this, and here I will put class name dot then method name. So now what I am going to do, select this particular line, click on execute highlighted. So once I'll click on execute highlighted, it will execute and it will also show the debug log here. So to show the debug log that we put, you just need to click on here debug only checkbox. If you check that, you will see we are able to see G on the first, then John, Amit, element, and SFDC Panther. So this is what I meant by order list. That means at particular index where you will add an element, it will you can get that particular element at that particular index. It doesn't sort by the alphabetical order. So when we say alphabetical order, that means uh, just for our demo, I'm changing list to set, and I'll say name set here, and then I will debug this as well. Next, and then after saving, just open and then execute that particular line, and you will see the difference what I was talking about, and you will get. So click on debug only, and here you will see in the set, it automatically sorting the particular array with the help of its alphabetical order. It is starting from the first, that means in the capital, and then it is going to the small. And this is the same thing here. We put G on the 0th index, and we are able to get that G on the 0th index. That means it's an order and set is an unordered. So when we are adding any element in the set, it by default it sorts that set and then display the value. So in the set, you cannot say that if I'm adding this Amit in the last and I will get that Amit in the last, it will automatically sort your list. But in case of list, if you are adding Z, suppose that in a fifth index you will get G in the fifth index. So this is what we discussed. Now let me remove this, and we already saw one add method. Now we will see add at the index. So let me copy this here, and what I will do, I'll just add at 0th index. That means element should be the first element now instead of G. And then after add all, I'll say that after add to 0 index, we will see. And then let's say that about setting the value. So what we will do, Now I wanted to set the value of 0 element as saying that it's I have updated value, and then I'll debug here again after upset set to 0. So let's see. Go ahead and check all these debugs so that we can be sure about our statements that we made before starting this working implementation system. So click on the debug only, and you will see name list is Z. We added in the 0th index the element, you can see, and even you can see that element in the duplicate as a. Okay, so here we are already saying 2. That means instead of yes, we need to use set instead of add. So now if you debug, it will update first element with the updated value. So let me click here. Now you can see it's updated, and the first element has been updated with I am updated value, and here you can see the element index at 0 had been added. So now if you wanted to check file like get, so here we are getting, let's say that I'm checking name 0, and here I will say it is the name list and get me the value for the 0th index. I wanted to get the value, whatever value is there in the 0th index. Now what will be the return type of this? The return type of this will always whatever we have given while declaring our list. Let's say that if I have given here as an account while declaring the element, while declaring the list, the return type here will be account. If I'm declaring as a integer, then the return type will be integer. For example, let me write it down here. So if list of account I'm using here and say account list, and now I'm trying to get here, then it will be account HEC equal to account list dot get 0. Why? Because the return type is here, the data type is here as an account. Now let me show you one more example here. So this was just for example, and here let's say that you are saying opportunity here. So if you now use here type to get, it will be like this. So this is why I use the string as a data type here. So now if I debug this 0th element here, yep, that's it. So here if I debug this and now I execute, I should be able to I am updated value because we are getting after that. So let's debug this, and you can see that I'm updated value. So these are all the method. I will go with one more, that is contains. So what I also contains will always return boolean. So I'll say this contains, and here I will check uh, name list dot contains, and inside I will provide Amit, and then I'll debug here, and it should return true because Amit is already added in the list. And now to be sure, let's check this contains demo, and I will say here as demo. So yep, so for first one it should return true, and then second one it should return false. So let it save, and then after we will run that particular code and we'll see. So here if you click on debug only, you can see it is saying that is false because we don't have demo in the list, but we do have Amit in the list. It is returning a true. We already check add, we already check set. Now let's check for one more method, that is AddAll. So here we will create a new list, name list 1, and I will say here Anuj and Siu. And now in the name list 1, I'll just add this particular list with the help of AddAll methods. I'll say name list 1, and then I will again debug this particular list, and we set that name list plus, sorry, name list 1. That means it should also give us two more elements, that are Anuj and Siv. So let it, okay, it is saving. Yeah, now click on execute. Okay, you can see here Anuj and Siv. We are getting two more elements. Now if you wanted to check is empty, you can even check that. So is empty with also, it will say that nameless dot is empty. You can check is empty. Even if you wanted to clear, you can clear that particular. And then if you wanted to remove, oops, before that, before clearing the, you can remove, let's say that one, and after removing we should debug that list. So I'll say that name list remove. So we removed first, that means we removed G, because we are adding in the G to index. So let's not debug this. Debug only. You can see that we have removed that G from the first index. There is no G. So this is like how you can work with the list, or all the methods of list. Now coming to our next part, that was list always returns true, like any SOQL always returns list. So to make sure that our statement is true, so okay, let's open this query editor here, and then we will try to, okay, what happened? Okay, so here let me, okay, let me type a query here, select ID, name from account. So if I'm making on a query on account, it should return a list of accounts. So here let's execute. You can see that there are 144 accounts. So how you will be sure that this is returning a list? So even if you see here, I'm not able to show you. Okay, now here you can see that I have 144 accounts, and here if you wanted to limit, you can limit with 10, and here you will see that 10 accounts here. Now if you wanted to see how it does work with the list data type, so it will return list of account here. So to make that work, just create a list of account here, say that account list, and you can make the SOQL either here using these square brackets, or you can just instance, like create the instance of this list, and then use that query here with the help of account list equal to this query, and you can debug here. You can say account list here, and then here you can debug size instead of, oops, yep. And then even if you wanted to get a particular account, you can say that get and put here index. Let's say that you wanted to information about first index. Go ahead and put one here and then ACC. So it will give you the information about the second account, whoever is on the first index. That means 0 and 1. So let's go ahead and execute this. You can see we are able to get ID, name, and the type ID of the account. So this is how you can work with the different methods of list, and this is how you can see that how that list does work and it's all methods. So now let's go back and we do have some few questions that we can discuss together. So it is saying what is the size of list. So when we say that what is the size of list, that is 6 MB in a synchronous mode. That means and then 12 in the 12 MB in the asynchronous mode. Asynchronous mode like running from the batch, future, queuable effects. And then we have what is the why list is most important among all collections. So we already discussed that the query does returns list, and then we can only make DML on the list data types. So what are the most widely used method of list? So I have listed here. First is add, get, set, remove, contains, and clears. And then you can also include isEmpty. So even if you are not including or you are missing any one from here, uh, that doesn't that doesn't make that much if that much effect. And then we have yeah, so this is all for this, and then from next video we'll learn about set, and then after we will learn about map. So I hope you have learned something new about the list collection. See you on the next video. Thank you.